Today's flute arrival is a newly re-emerged to the world Rudall Rose Carte and Company simple system concert flute, serial number 6160, with the address of 100 New Bond Street. We can't date them precisely until the extant record book started in 1867, but I estimate from what we know of addresses and serial numbers that this one was probably made in 1854, give or take a year. I'm fairly confident about that. It was originally intended to be a normal 8-key flute, but for some mysterious reason the long F key was never fitted. You can tell it's a newly arrived flute because I've got it taped up to seal up some leaks. But yes, the long F, the tone hole is there and the blocks are there turned in, but there has never been a pinhole drilled to mount the key, like this. So there's no lost key. There was clearly never a key fitted for some reason. It will of course be perfectly possible to get one made and have it fitted, although that's an expensive undertaking. Otherwise the flute is in pretty good condition. It has lost its crown stopper adjustable mechanism. It's gone completely, so that's something else that's going to have to be replaced, but it works just fine with the simple cork in it, of course. There are seemingly repaired cracks. There's a crack in the head joint just on the player's side of the embouchure hole, so it's not through the embouchure, which despite a couple of dings on its rim is in very good condition. Nice elliptical embouchure, a fairly small one as well. There are 2 cracks in the barrel, one of which is definitely being glued up. I'm not sure about the other one, but that's actually holding airtight at the moment, so I think they're probably secure. I'll probably redo them in due course. Silver rings and keys, and it has the claw interlocked C sharp keys on the foot joint with pewter plugs. The E flat key is a padded one, shallow salt spoon keys, and only the short F has a counter spring in the keyway. The other short keys, which commonly on earlier Rudall Rose flutes have counter springs, haven't. So there's a crack also in the lower body socket, which hasn't been repaired and is leaky, and that's why I've got a piece of tape on it. And there's a neat wooden bung in the unused long F tone hole, which also is not quite airtight, which is why I've got a bit of tape over it. But otherwise, it's actually playing really rather nicely. The pads are probably original, certainly very old, and they do a reasonable job of sealing. It has a sounding length of 582 millimeters, and it's playing for me at a 440 with the sort of slide extension you see there. It's quite cool here today, so if it was hotter that would have to come out a bit further, and obviously it depends on your embouchure blowing style, but it's a definitely usable at 440 flute. It's also quite a small holed one, especially for a later flute like this. The tone holes are about as small as you ever find on a Rudall family simple system flute. I have another later Rudall Rose Carte, number 6409, which has much bigger holes, and it's also shorter, although it plays at 440 just as usably. So that, I think, is the gist of the information about it. So what does it sound like? playing strongly all the way to the bottom, even though the pewters are a bit gungy, they're sealing. So, all the way up to high C chromatically, full 3 octaves, all working, and whilst obviously it needs repair, correct repairs and an overhaul, and these missing parts made for it, it's very playable. So against the piano, that's tuned to the G as ever because the A is inevitably slightly sharp. Missed the long F.